YouTube? It's Baker. Welcome back to Blue Line Morphs, guys. Hope everybody's doing absolutely fantastic. I'll be honest with you, we don't have a lot of stuff going on here. We're just kind of getting ready for our first show, even though it's out like pretty much a month out. I think I mentioned it a couple times in the past, but we're like 99.9% sure we're doing a show in Brentwood on Long Island on March 12th. So slowly but surely getting ready, seeing what we're going to bring. We have about 30 hatchlings here, 28 hatchlings still left available, about 5 adults that are left. So we're probably going to bring almost everything. With that being said, guys, I want to get into a few things. First off, we're getting our pairings ready to go this week. We're not doing them today because we did feed on Sunday, so I want to give them about 72 hours before I start pairing up. But I do think we have kind of caught the tail end of the ovulation here. She doesn't quite look as balloon as she did, but I don't want to mess with her too much. But she was nice and fat. You can still kind of see it a little bit right here. She's kind of blown up a little bit, but she was really nice and big about 2 days ago. But that is our high OD yellow belly fire clown that was paired to our stranger leopard clown. So I'm very happy about that one. And this girl over here, our OD fire Enchi clown, should be ovulating any day now. So I'm really happy about that. Stranger boy's maintaining about 550 grams, so I'm ecstatic about that. We're doing pretty good, all right? The other girl we've been pairing him to, she is blowing up. Look at her. Ball wrapping nicely. That's our pastel spot nose clown. By the way, it's a little dark here. I apologize, guys. We have to get new hi-hats. Got the wrong one, so I didn't want. I was too lazy to string it back up, so we just stuffed some paper in there. That being said, guys, I wanted to get into a project that we had spoke about a month or two ago, and a few people recently have actually asked me about how the girls are doing. That's the paint project, okay? I mentioned some of the pairings I'm doing, so today that's what we're going to talk about. Talk about how our paint project has progressed. Realistically, we're going to talk about how our paint girls have been growing and what we're doing with our paint boy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I think the paint project, obviously you guys know, paint, sentinel, whatever you want to call it, was kind of, people confused about the gene, whether it was a codom, whether it was recessive. People call them super paints when actually they were visual recessive. When it was actually recessive, and the reason why is some of these hets, as you can see, I have 2 OD het paints behind me. One's in shed, but you can still see the one looks like you can almost tell that it's paint, okay? You can tell something else was going on with it. That's what we're going to do today. That being said, we'll do the boy first, all right? We'll grab the boy who's probably stuck underneath his hide. Diesel, get out of here. So this boy right here, he's a stud. He's a yellow belly paint boy. Doesn't miss a meal. Has gotten put on great size for us. In fact, I haven't weighed him in quite some time. Yeah, so he's 1,047 grams. He is not small. Beautiful, great example of our of paint with yellow belly. The only issue we have with him, doesn't fucking lock with anything. Okay. So far we've been trying to lock him with a few girls. Mainly just we have a clown girl here and a clown girl here who both actually had 18mm follicles. No dice so far. I've tried everything from sheds to pop-in plugs to only I haven't tried is other male shit and put another male in there, which we're probably gonna try tomorrow, okay? But we haven't got any luck. And fortunately I was trying to lock him also with our OD fire girl right here. Big girl, just to make some nice hets. And then of course we're gonna lock him with this girl right here, pastel mahogany fire OD girl. Just again to make some nice hets and start building up that project. That being said though, when we did buy him, we didn't have any sort of paint girls at all. And we actually did a pretty good job compiling a lot of nice hats in one visual. So with that being said, the reason why I kind of got into that, did you guys remember Mike was here from Red Light Pythons over the summer, and we were kind of talking about how I have this 1065 over here with not many holdbacks. So with that being said, the next 3 to 4 days after that, I kind of blacked out and bought, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9, right, hets and one visual. So we built up a nice project. People have been asking me to show them off, so that's exactly what I'm going to do today. All right, so that's the male we'll be using for the project for now. This is our only visual female. This is a lesser paint girl. When we first got her, she's a visual, lesser paint. When we first got her, she ate absolutely fantastic. But over the last couple weeks, she has not been eating for me. I'm not really worried about it, okay? Because she was a little bit bigger than the other girls when we first picked her up. Now she's 500 grams. Again, we don't anticipate really breeding any of these girls to maybe late next season. So not the end of the world. If anything, she's one of the bigger ones of the group. But I do like how lesser and paint interact with each other, all right? What do you think, Kev?
Very nice. Very
I like them. All right. So next, let's get into the 2... Asshole. Let's get into the 2 OD het girls that we picked up from Mutation Station. They're awesome. A couple that breeds. Been in contact with them. They got a really nice paint project going. I'm going to pull both of them out to show you. Now, like I said before, they're both OD het paints. Now, this girl's kind of in shed, going into shed. But if you look, Kev, can you see the difference? This girl, you can almost tell, is a visual het. You see it? See the top of the alien head? It's kind of a little bit of pixelation going on here. It's a little, right? So yeah, it is a lot, right? A little more. Yeah, exactly. So they're both OD, as we know. Get out of here, you ding dong. Let's weigh him real quick. I haven't weighed him in a while. 354. That girl's probably the better eater, to be honest with you. And this girl right here, 310. So they're not far behind. She actually has a meal in her from about 2 to 3 days ago. But as you can see, this is what I was talking about earlier in the video. How there was some misconception when people started dealing with paint and Sentinel because they weren't really sure if it was a Kodam or it was a recessive. And this is why, guys. These are both OD het paints. However, this one you can tell, as Kev pointed out, really pixelated. So people were seeing this and they thought this was the visual representation of paint. And they thought when you had an actual visual paint, that was a super paint or a Kodam super form, like, you know, well, super Mojave would be Bell, but super pastel, stuff like that. All right, guys? So this is a pretty good example of how you can see paint as het. Pretty obvious, right, Kev? I think it is.
You're very.
Let's get out of the light. Big fat head. Pretty cool. These girls are growing up nicely. I had a conversation with Ozzy. I asked him what he thought about paint, and his response to me was, looks really good with OD. So we got 2 OD girls right here. All right? We're going to listen to the man, the myth, the legend. All right. So we got 3 more. Let's follow this girl real quick. This girl right here. Oh, she shed. Perfect. Diesel, get your ass out of here. This I also got from Mutation Station. This is a het paint girl. She's, you son of a bitch. Look at him. He eats, I told you, he eats sheds. Look at him. Hey. The problem is,
shed eater.
He eats the sheds. Then he shits out like dust. Then Michelle goes, what happened? I go, I have no idea what's wrong with him. He must be sick. So then we have this girl. She's a nice het paint girl. She's pretty big.
I think that one.
You got another one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm bring you back to the gas station. Get out of here. All right. So this is a nice het paint girl. Got them from Mutation Station also. The same people we got the OD het paints from. Now she's about, what is it, 1,200, 1,300 grams? I didn't really see. 1,300 grams. So we have been throwing our Yellow Belly Paint Boy in there just because we're, you know, it would be nice to make some nice visual paints this season. So there.
Almost got me.
Diesel.
He almost got me.
Hey, sit down.
Actually listened.
I was nervous. I was like, don't embarrass me. But
not on camera, pal.
So we are trying to put our Yellow Belly Paint Boy to this girl. Maybe produce some nice paints this season. Obviously, males Kev will probably snag, or females will stay here. So there is potential of having visual paints this season, okay? Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. Like I said, so far, I ultrasounded her, no follicle growth from her, and of course our boy's not locking up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so these 3 girls are all the way from Canada. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this girl first. This girl is by far the worst eater of the group, all right? This is a Mojave Vanilla het paint girl. She's the most finicky eater I have all my paints. Normally the paint girls are pretty feisty, but they eat pretty well. She's only 226 grams. Now again, when I got her with these other 2 girls, and they were the same size. But these girls actually grow, and that girl does not want to eat. So let's take a look at these girls. This girl I really fell in love with. I'll be honest with you. The other one was my favorite. You're going to see in a second. But this girl's become my favorite. That's a cinnamon leopard het paint female. Then this girl's definitely going to tag me. Then this girl right here is the other one. Really nice looking. Again, what do you think's in there, Kev? OD cinnamon. Put you on the spot.
Yep.
All right. So these 3 right here we got growing up. And now again, they're all pretty. These 2 girls are pretty hefty. They really don't miss meals. Yeah, 500 grams. I would assume that this girl right here is probably around the same. But these are the 3 girls we picked up from Canada. And you know what? Very happy to have them in our collection. This girl's actually going into shed. Normally she's much more vibrant. But I'm looking forward to growing these girls up and getting them involved in our paint project. Obviously, I love the fact that our male has Yellow Belly paint. Is a Yellow Belly visual paint male. I really look forward to this project, especially getting these Kodams involved with the paint project. We'd love to see some nice ODYB paints, OD Mojave paints, ODYB vanilla paints, and so forth and so on, guys. So really looking forward to this project. Look forward to these girls growing. And more importantly, I really hope he figures out what he's got to do. So I'd love to get some double hets, especially nice double het clown paints. So I get that project off the ground too. But for everyone asking about how our paint project doing, this is how it's doing. hopefully by next season, late next season, these girls will be ready to go. That is the goal at least. We'll see what happens. But I think we picked up some nice firepower here. Obviously, we intend to pick up more, but that's where we stand with our paint project, guys. I think paint is absolutely gorgeous. To be honest with you, I got to give credit where credit's due. The first time I heard about paint and somebody had tried to get me to get into paint was Sal from Gomez Pythons, right? The guy's been into paint for like 3 years now, if not longer. And I really wish I had listened to him a couple of years ago and got involved with paint, because I do think it's a lot of untapped potential in this project. When you got guys like Justin pushing it and Justin doing things with it, you know there's a reason for that. So I anticipate some crazy combos coming out with. We already came out with some crazy combos, so I'm really happy to be in this project. So we'll see what happens. A lot of het paint girls, mainly because a lot of visuals were not available yet. But that being said, these girls do eat well for the most part, except for that girl. So we'll see what happens. What?
She's small.
She's tiny, right? She's
Tiny.
half the size.
Yeah.
She's half the size. Can you stop it? So we'll see what happens, guys. Hopefully get some nice visual paints from that het paint girl over there. If not, maybe late next season, we'll have a whole paint army growing up here at Blue Line Morphs, guys. Looking forward to it. Pretty happy with our clown stuff, our pied stuff, our clown pied stuff. So I really look forward to expanding our paint project to be that third recessive that we're working with. All right, guys? So that's really it. That's our paint shit. So with that being said, appreciate you guys watching. Be safe. Watch your sex.